Like, who has the most impact? Like, I'm not talking about Impact Wrestling. I'm talking about like characters with the biggest impact. Because this thread has said, and I'll read it if you bear with me. Characters with the biggest impact, general discussion. I'd have to argue that Chrissy was one of them. He was on the show for less than 2 years, involved in one of the biggest storylines in the show's history, mixed with other iconic characters, Sharon, Den, etc., and left a far more significant impact than plenty of characters who are around for 5+ years. Who else? Obviously, Chrissy Watts. It's Chrissy Watts. You know, obviously the murderer of Den Watts. In prison now. Again,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about today.
Biggest impact. Mick Carter, perhaps. I know he was there for 10 years. Obviously, this is supposed to be the smallest period of time with the biggest impact, but also fundamentally, he was there for 10 years, and it was in the most episodes of like 6 of them. You know, he was there a lot. Biggest impact in general. Max Bowden's Ben Mitchell, in a sense, did become in 5 years pretty much, well, in 4 years, pretty much the main character of the fucking show. Ray Atkins, nah, the impact's not big enough. George Knight, in a sense, only a recent introduction to the show led to him becoming quite a large character. Biggest impact. How are we doing this, though? Are they wanting it to be a short period of time? Because you could say a lot of the characters in the 80s, like the first poster says Angie Watts. She was in the show from 85 to 88. You have Lofty, who wasn't too far gone. You have Den Watts in his own way, where becoming the largest fucking character in the soap's history, because he was there from 85 to 89, and then came back in 03 and lasted 2 years. So that's 10 years? Not 10 years. Fucking brain maths. Yeah, it's like 7 years.
Like, 85 to 88, was it?
85 to 89, and 2003, 2005.
So that's 85 to 89, it's 4 years. And then it lasted a year and a half, so we'll round it up to 2. So,
yeah.
So that's 6 years. 6 years. So,
I mean, I would say someone like Grant, but Grant was still there for thereabouts like a decade. Nick Cotton, despite being a character who was an original, he never really had that long a stint. Like, he was there on and off for years. Fuck, it's actually quite a hard one, because if we're trying to do it as the characters who had a relatively short amount of time on the show, and kind of became Archie Mitchell, there we fucking go. Archie Mitchell joined the show. I've just fucking searched Archie. Archie Mitchell joined the show in July 2008, and his last appearance was December 2009. He did make an appearance, and he had a voice appearance in July 2010, and he was referenced a shit ton for a lot. So yeah, Archie Mitchell came in 2008, became he's a very big character. Obviously played by Larry Lamb, who is a fucking famous, like, maybe not legendary actor, but he's a very established actor, and, you know, came in to play Archie Mitchell, who rose to the throne of the Mitchell family. He took over everything. He took over everyone, and then slowly coerced and controlled everyone. He controlled Ronnie, he controlled Roxy, he controlled Peggy. He pretty much abused Peggy. And he did, in the end, become the most hated character in that time period. The sexual assault of Stacey Slater, the like I think later said to be sexual abuse of Ronnie. He was a truly despicable character, and within a year and a half became the most hated character on the show. So that's my that's my biggest inclusion, in my opinion. Archie Mitchell, truly a despicable character, and only really was there for a year and a half.
Right, just give me a second. I'm doing fucking. I'm trying to think of a fucking. There's an actor I'm trying to think of, but I need to find the TV show that they're in. The characters are the biggest impact for me. I'll switch to me in a second when I'm done. Fucking just quickly going through our search history. There it is. That's the TV show. What the fuck's this actor called? Oh, on Nexus Mods. What the fuck's this character called?
I guess I'll fucking keep going. But yeah, Larry Lamb was a great addition. Probably a really underrated.
There we go. I found the guy I'm looking for. I'll put it up on screen now. Obviously, I said Larry Lamb, but I fucking I thought he meant this guy. Where is it? Open image new tab. I thought he meant this guy, which you can see on screen now. I thought he meant like
they
Robert
do look
Lindsay.
remotely similar.
Yeah, I thought because my mind instantly Robert Lindsay of my family. Fuck off! No, it can't be. But no, it's not. It's not.
I don't even know what that is.
My family was like the most.
I don't need to know.
I'll just briefly like say it. It was like it was before like obviously what's the famous American one like where it like has multiple families in it.
Just move on. Just move on.
All right,
you don't fucking need this. If you could immediately give me a snappy description of it, sure. Oh, who's this one guy in that one show? All right, you had your chance.
No, I was trying to think of the TV show as well, the fuck one in America, but I can't think of it now. I lost my train of thought. I guess I'll read through the Reddit since I derailed that, looking for Robert Lindsay. So without further ado, yeah, this reads on. Yeah, I still have to say Andrew Watts made a massive impact. Despite only being in the show for 3 years. Yes, another great example. Must be something about Den's wives. Linda Carter's had a major storyline, and every year she's been on the show, she's definitely cemented herself as one of the greats in the last 11 years. Lucy's death had a long-term aftermath. Really the only one I felt had done this effectively. Her death has a
True. I mean, in this era, Keanu, in this last 5 years, since they joined 2017, right? Since 2017, Keanu pretty much had a big storyline every single year. Because obviously he had the famous affair with Sharon and was fiancés with Louise. He starts a relationship with Sharon. They have the affair. He has a relationship with Louise. He gets both of them pregnant. Has the Christmas where they have to murder, where Ben makes Martin makes Martin kill Keanu, who then escapes, and then he returns in 2022. Wait, does he return? No, he does return. He kidnaps Callum. Fucking hell. Oh yeah, and then he's involved in the boat crash, and then he fucks off. Then he returns in 2022 at Christmas, tries to get contact with his son, Albie, and obviously has the whole year where he proceeds to go lower and lower, and constantly lower, in attempts to keep a hold of everything he believed he was working for. And in the end, gets killed by the Six, leading for it to be one of the most, probably the biggest storyline since Who Killed Lucy? Might be a bold take. But yeah, Keanu is also another good answer.
Yeah, and moving back on, her death has a long-lasting effect, but when I think of Lucy, I only see a young girl stomping around in a grey suit. I can't really think of the character of the character herself. Pouty and unpleasant, unfortunately. Chris, Angie, Dennis, Steve Owen. Steve Owen, I love this character. I think Dennis Rickman, I remember his stint on the show and how popular he was in such a short stint. He won lots of awards too while he was there. And he was Den's secret son too. Very sensational at the time and a big hit.
I mean, he had a lot of really good stuff to work with. You know, he had scenes with Den. He had obviously a big whirlwind romance with Sharon, and eventually died within I'm gonna say 2 years of him actually appearing. Like he died December 2005. He joined in April 2003. Great scenes with Phil, Dot, Den, Sharon. Like, a lot of these characters had a dark side. Yeah, Dennis Rickman is also a fantastic add to this thread. So, yeah, kudos.
The shame killed Denny off, although I didn't like him. He could have been a legacy character. I could have been a legacy character for the family. It's such a shame they decided to make him nothing but Dennis Rickman's bad side and zero ego qualities of either parent. I suppose he was Dan Watt's grandkid after all. And Shaw's knew to fill in, but his character was just absolutely useless, and they wasted it. But Lucy had quite the impact, especially her dad had left scars.
So, I love that. That line is so campy, but I love it.
Wow.
Lucy's death had quite the impact, especially her death had left scars that won't heal for the Beals.
Lucy, her death is still having repercussions 10 years later.
Yeah.
I'd also say Stella, she wasn't even around for a year. Had the long impact on Ben, as well as her death being the pinnacle of Ben stalking Phil. Yeah,
a very big impact.
Lucy
agreed,
and also Keanu created massive ripple effects because of their death. Chrissy was probably the last real icon. The character the show ever created. She was only on the show for a year, but created a mark to the point people still talk about her. Just shows you how much better the writing was back then.
Who talks about Chrissy Watts?
Reading on. Ronnie, Roxy, Shirley, Max, Suki, Linda. Yeah, they're all iconic, but I feel like Chrissy was one of the last characters you could call classic. I can't believe you were downvoted for the truth. Literally.
But who's going to call any of the current characters classic? Because they're not classic, they're current, they're modern.
Because back then they had actual writers, not immature uni students / graduates. True fact. Thank you. Don't get all the downvote stuff. Downvote the truth. It is the way it is on this soap, it seems. Definitely. Look at these edgy teenagers.
Look at everybody wanking each other off. Yeah, Chrissy was the last iconic character. I've not heard Chrissy get mentioned since she... I'm sorry, we've been reading the EastEnders subreddit pretty much... we've been reading multiple threads for the last year. Chrissy Watts does never get mentioned. She does not get mentioned. The only reason she's been mentioned recently is because she's fucking returning to the show. I want none of this shit. Fucking... Yeah, it's just recency bias, lads. Bloody hell, Chrissy's back. I really miss her. She was a classic character. Have you watched any of her scenes? No. No, you fucking haven't. Stop lying. It's just fucking... Just people wanking themselves off. Fucking absolute knobbery. How many times has Chrissy Watts been mentioned in any of the subreddits we've read through in the last year?
Probably once or twice.
Exactly. But they're talking about her like she's some fucking heroic great. Yeah, sure, she is good. She is very impactful, but you really did just you made this own thread just to be like, yeah, she's a classic character. Love her. All you dickheads won't agree.
All you woke agenda-minded people won't agree.
It's like no one cares.
Might as well go
there we are.
Terms in.
That's an interesting video. It's a cool little video discussing who had the most impact in a fairly short period of the show. So, decent answers. I'm happy with the Keanu. I'm happy with the Dennis Rickman. I'm happy with the Archie Mitchell. There's a lot of good answers there, so tell us what you think in the comment section down below. We've been watching Walford. Join us in the next one. See you then. Bye-bye.